these moments.
And we begin at 12:30 with a developing story out of Stockton, where we've just learned that a man who was shot by a former CHP officer in a suspected murder-suicide has died. The shooting happened on West 8 Mile Road near the Elkhorn Athletic Club last Thursday. Investigators say Miguel Lopez Quinn shot Robert Nelson Jr. and then shot and killed himself. Nelson was taken to a hospital where he later died. Police say Lopez Quinn is also suspected of shooting and killing his wife in Garden Grove in a home. Lopez Quinn was assigned to the Hayward area office in 2017. He transferred to the Stockton area office in 2020. He separated from the department in 2022. Police say the investigation is ongoing.
Fox 40's Christina Bautista live from Stockton with more of those details. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Riley, Eric. On Monday, Stockton PD responded to 4 robberies, 2 on the north side of town, the other 2 on the south side, some within just minutes from each other. As of right now, it hasn't been confirmed that any of the 4 are connected.
It was a violent Monday in Stockton on July 21st. Within just a few hours, 4 separate robberies were reported, 3 of them involving weapons.
2 of those were in the southern part of Stockton. Those 2 don't appear to be related at this time. The other 2 were reported in the evening hours in the 49 to 5200 block of Pacific Avenue, kind of near that mall area of Stockton, and within 30 minutes of each other.
The first 2 robberies happened just blocks apart near Pacific Avenue in North Stockton. In one case, a teen was threatened with a knife. In the other, a 23-year-old woman and a male juvenile had their belongings taken. One of the victims was slightly injured.
So as of right now, we don't have any confirmation that those are related, although the suspect descriptions for both cases do tend to match.
Police say both incidents involved 3 suspected juveniles. Investigators are reviewing footage and eyewitness accounts to determine if the same group was behind both robberies. The 2 other robberies occurred in South Stockton later that night. One on Court Street that involved 4 armed suspects targeting 3 victims. The other near Weber Avenue and D Street saw a 27-year-old man held at gunpoint, all getting away with personal belongings from those victims.
We always want our community members to be vigilant, and so these suspects, they do look for victims that may be vulnerable, that aren't paying attention, that seem distracted.
Officer David Scott says no arrests have been made yet, and all 4 cases remain open. Police also say crime in Stockton has actually decreased this summer. June 2025 robberies dropped 13% compared to May.
It is nice to see, but there's still work to be done.
As mentioned, no arrests have been made in connection to any of these 4 robberies. Anybody at home with information is advised to reach out to the Stockton Police Department. In Stockton, covering local news that matters, Christina Bautista, Fox 40 News.
We just learned within the past hour, 3 of the 6 people shot outside a Reno casino are dead. Officers on scene within minutes kept that suspected shooter from entering the casino. Thanks for joining us. I'm Curtis Meng.
And I'm Edie Lambert. Officers got calls of an active shooter at the Grand Sierra Resort at about 7:25 this morning. Authorities say the shootings were outside the building. 5 people were shot in the valet area, and then another person was shot in the parking lot. 3 of those victims were killed. 2 of the other 3 are still in the hospital, and 1 victim has been released. Police responded within minutes and shot and injured the suspect.
The bravery and rapid response by our officers stopped the suspect's rampage on innocent victims, which definitely saved lives and prevented additional people from being victimized.
1 officer suffered minor injuries but is expected to be okay.
And we're now hearing reaction from a family member of somebody near the casino during the shootings.
KCRA 3 Cecil Hannibal joins us now live from the scene.
Yeah, guys, we're here at the fire department just across the street from the Grand Resort, the Grand Sierra Resort and Casino. And yeah, like you just said, we heard from a man at the RV park staying here with his family. He says his sister was going to breakfast this morning when she was walking by and she suddenly heard gunshots. She said she started running towards her car and she ran right past that gunman. A scary experience for this family. Now, they say that his sister is okay. She got in the car and drove off. Now she says that, or she told her brother that she and along with the other witnesses were taken on a bus to the police department to be interviewed. But what we know right now, again, is that a gunman opened fire and went on what police are calling a rampage on innocent people here at the largest casino in the city of Reno. What we know so far, again, is that 6 people have been shot. We've learned that 3 of those victims have died. What we also know is that 2 people are in critical condition tonight and 1 person was released from the hospital. Now, the details we've gotten from police in this investigation on what exactly happened, they say it happened at the valet, from the valet to the parking lot. That's where this shooting happened. They say that gunman had a handgun and exchanged fire with a security guard and police as they arrived on scene to try to take down that suspect. Now, what we're told is that police did exchange fire with that suspect. He was shot. He is in critical condition and has been taken into police custody. But a lot of details we're still working to learn tonight. For example, who is this gunman and why this happened? That is an important detail that investigators are trying to figure out. But again, what we know right now is that this is a senseless shooting that happened here early this morning at the largest casino here in the city of Reno. But when you talk to people, we've been walking around talking to people today. Depending on who you talk to, you kind of get a different reaction. Some people at the RV park had no idea what happened this morning. That's how you could say fast the scene eventually did wrap up, or that people just were sleeping when it happened. But you hear from, like, the man I told you about, his sister actually lives in Lincoln, California. They say that right now she's distraught. She's at the police station. She's a witness to this crime, and again, she says she ran right past that gunman, and they say she's really lucky to be alive because the gunman again was just shooting people at random. A horrible tragedy unfolded here just this morning at this casino here in the city of Reno. We're working to get more details, and as we get those, we'll give them to you both here on air and on our website, KCRA.com. Live in Reno, Cecil Hannibal, KCRA 3 News.
Cecil, let's talk about what's happening there tonight. Are people still staying at the resort? What are things like there now?
Yeah, when we've been talking to people, I talked to another gentleman who said that he's going to be here for the next 3 days, and he says his daughter was actually staying at the resort. She called him this morning to say, Dad, we're on lockdown. What's happening? They checked the news to see that, yeah, there was a gunman here this morning that shot multiple people. They say that they're still staying here. They don't feel like they're in danger. So it's one of those things where we've been talking to people that they really have no idea what's happened here, or the fact that it's happened isn't really affecting their stay. So, it really just depends. When you talk to one family who, a man whose sister could have been shot today, he's obviously alarmed and, really worried about the mental state of his sister. But you have another family who says they didn't see anything and they feel safe. So, yeah, it really just depends who you talk to today. But we haven't been able to get super close to the casino, but, from who we've talked to today, the way it's been described to me is it feels like a normal day here at the casino. And that's, something that some people are, when I asked the man, have you come to grips with the fact there was a shooting here this morning? He says, yeah, it's really hard to believe. Guys.
Yeah, the general manager told us during the news conference, too, the casino remains open this afternoon. All right, Cecil, thank you. And you can stay updated on any new developments.
Heading to trial, the man accused of shooting and killing his wife's former boyfriend was in court today for his preliminary hearing. The judge deciding to move forward with the case. Thanks for joining us tonight for Action News Live at 6. I'm Margot Kim.
And I'm Warren Armstrong. We're live tonight on ABC 30, Hulu Live, and wherever you stream. Action News reporter Vince Ibarra takes us inside the courtroom after listening to the opposing sides lay out the details of that deadly night.
46-year-old Michael Jacinto faced a Fresno County judge on Tuesday during his preliminary hearing. Jacinto is accused of shooting and killing 43-year-old Sebastian Prado on June 19th. Prosecutors say Prado is the ex-boyfriend of Jacinto's wife. A key witness, Jacinto's stepson, took the stand. Action News was told not to show his face for privacy reasons. The witness told the court he went with Jacinto to Prado's house to get his mom, but she didn't want to go home with them. The witness says Jacinto was mad at his wife because she was visiting Prado. After dropping off his stepson at their home, prosecutors believe Jacinto went back to Prado's house, and that's when officers say Jacinto opened fire, shooting Prado. Authorities believe Jacinto carried out the attack in front of his wife.
She heard what she described as a gunshot. And once she heard that, she assumed that Prado got shot, so she got in front of Prado to prevent him from getting shot again.
Officers say Jacinto's wife was visibly upset after the shooting, making it difficult to collect information.
I observed the victim laying next to the bed that was in the room, unresponsive.
The defense is suggesting a different theory.
How did you make the determination that Ms. Bircher was absolutely not a suspect in this case?
Today, the judge found enough evidence for Jacinto to face trial for the murder of Sebastian Prado. He will be back in court on August 7th. In the studio, I'm Vince Ibarra, ABC 30 Action News.
The latest out of a shooting from Manhattan, New York, and what we're learning about a gunman and a possible connection to Las Vegas. Once again, this follows gunfire in New York City. A police officer and another person been shot at an office skyscraper in Midtown Manhattan this evening. That's according to law enforcement sources.
And here's what we know so far. This occurred in the lobby of Park Avenue. Police have reportedly killed the gunman there. According to CNN, that gunman is from Las Vegas, 27-year-old Shane Tamura. Again, a 27-year-old gunman that they believe is here from Las Vegas is the one that they believe walked into this building tonight. We're also learning that the wounded officer is in critical condition. New York Governor Kathy Hochul says that she was briefed on the situation as well. The FBI is providing support at the scene. This is according to a deputy there as well, the deputy director telling us that information. And we're looking at live pics right now of people who seem to be pretty frantic trying to figure out what's happening here, Marie.
From these live pictures now, we're also learning that New York Mayor Eric Adams has posted online saying that he has been at the scene of the shooting and he's asking people inside Park Avenue to remain inside the building for now. He also says he'll be going to the hospital. We've also learned that 4 people, including a New York Police Department officer, were ultimately killed in that shooting in Midtown Manhattan. That's according to a law enforcement official to CNN. Now, the gunman, as LaToya mentioned, has been identified as a 27-year-old from Las Vegas, also dead from what police believe is a self-inflicted injury. We'll have continuing coverage here on air and online. And maybe if we stay with these images for a moment as we continue to see what unfolds there. As you mentioned, a lot of people in shock over what's happened on this Monday evening.
Right. And of course, panic always ensues when you have something like this happening in a situation where it's public and people are frantically, as you can see this young woman on the screen right now, trying to figure out their loved ones who perhaps were at this building again in the Midtown section of New York City. Here's what we know about this property. It's a 44-story building, houses Blackstone. Also, the NFL's headquarters are here. So presumably a lot of people in this building when all of this started to break out. What we know right now is that the suspect in question, who is now deceased, apparently armed with a long gun, entered this building, 345 Park Avenue, this evening, shot and killed 3 people, including 1 off-duty officer who reportedly worked in that building. That was the first person to encounter this man when he walked into the lobby with that weapon, shot that officer, and then we're told he went to the 33rd floor. After barricading himself in, he was found dead. He shot some other people, as we mentioned. And so right now, everyone's just trying to figure out not only what happened exactly, but also why it happened. And you're looking at a picture of Shane Tamura now, that 27-year-old suspect who reportedly is from Las Vegas.
So why did he end up in New York, and what was the motive of all this? Lots of questions still out there tonight, but this is just the beginning of this investigation. A massive scene there on the streets of Manhattan in New York City.
Yeah, and presumably in a place like New York, you know, they're prepared for pretty much anything. But when you think about this happening on a Monday, coming off the weekend, I'm sure he caught a lot of people off guard, presumably being that officer first and foremost who encountered him first. Again, an officer who was off duty but working in that building at the time. The first to be encountered and the first, sadly, to lose his life. Then we're told that that man who you're looking at, identified now as Shane Tamura, who is reportedly from Las Vegas, 27 years old, armed with that long gun, not only shot at that officer who killed that officer, off-duty officer, but also shot and killed 3 people. And then at some point, he went up to the 33rd floor and then he barricaded himself inside, and we're told he was later found dead on that 33rd floor. So this happened just before 6:30 p.m. Again, this building contains a number of offices, the NFL headquarters being one. We don't know right now if this was a targeted attack or what could have possibly set this person off, and how this person, as Marie just said, traveled from one end of the country to the next, and how he encountered this gun and was able to get it across that far and to do this harm to folks who were presumably just going about their Monday. But at 6:30, the terror rained down, and we're told that's when this person came in with that gun and shot folks. This is video from earlier in that scene. You can see a number of officers, pretty active, as you can imagine. And I would imagine once they found out, Marie, that one of their own was among those who had been shot, there was probably all hands on deck.
And so where are we now, hours after all of this unfolded? NBC News is reporting that some occupants of buildings near the scene, they're now being allowed to leave following the lockdowns there. Reporters there describing a sense of relief spreading through the crowds after police had announced that the gunman was dead.
And what's really shocking about this is the connection possibly here to Las Vegas. As we've been telling you, CNN now reporting that the gunman is in fact from Southern Nevada, from Las Vegas. And so we're working, as you can imagine,
On January 15, 2020, prior to the murder of Charles McCormick, were you aware of what was going to happen to him that day?
No.
Did you participate in any of the planning of the murder of Charles McCormick?
No.
Were you present when Charles McCormick was murdered?
No.
Did you know that was going to happen before it happened?
No.
When did you find out Charles McCormick was going to be murdered? Or, excuse me, when did you find out Charles McCormick had been murdered?
After I picked up Scott and Butter.
So that would be Leroy Whitaker and Dominique Barner?
Yes.
You indicated you picked them up. How did you know that they needed a ride on January 15, 2020?
My son called me and asked me to go give Scotty a ride.
Which son?
Kareem.
Abdul Jr.?
Yes.
Do you recall what Abdul Jr.'s phone number was that he communicated with you on that day?
I think it's 904-624 3694-84.
3684?
Yeah.
Do you recall what your phone number was back on January 15, 2020?
904 866 2370.
Now, sitting here today, you realize that you are testifying against not only co-defendants, but family members.
Yes.
Why are you doing that?
Well, I have a number of reasons.
And what are they?
I got some health issues. I got 2 6-year-olds and an 8-year-old daughter. And, when my 8-year-old daughter asked me when I'm going to come take her to the daddy-daughter dance.
Objection, hearsay relevance.
Overruled. You can answer.
When she asked me over each year when I'm going to come take her there, and I keep letting her down. Then my 6-year-old son, when he asked me if I'm going to come to his football games, come take him fishing. My other 6-year-old, he asked me when I'm going to come see him, when he begging me, please come see me, Daddy. He want to teach me how to play the game, but he don't know where I'm at. Things like that. My health issues.
What health issues do you have?
I have diabetic. I'm diabetic. I'm on high blood pressure. I suffer from congestive heart failure. I just found out June 25th that my kidneys is failing rapidly.
Has becoming a witness in this case negatively impacted your relationship with your entire family?
Well, I really don't have no more relationship with my family, besides one person.
So a part of your family completely cut you out.
Yeah.
When people know that you're cooperating, does that make it easier or harder for you when you're incarcerated?
Well, it make it harder for me.
What about when you get out?
Extremely harder.
Is cooperating in this case something that is easy for you to do?
No, this is the most hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life.